Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Anybody out there? I'll wait just a couple moments. Yay, Naveen, hey. Um, so, um, hey Jan, Roberta, Kim. I'm glad you guys are here. We're just going to do just a general yoga class today. We're going to utilize the wall. So you should have some sort of, hey Pam, wall or closet door that you can close so that you don't push through the door. Maybe lock it so that somebody doesn't come in when your legs are on it. We'll do some standing poses with it and some seated laying down poses with it. So when you're ready, let's just, hey Diane, hope you guys are actually going to do what we're doing today and not just watch. I do have Scotty in the, good morning Debbie, good morning Rita. I have Scotty in the hallway back there doing it with me, so if you hear any groans, that's just him, so try to ignore that. Please feel free to put on any sort of music that you want to listen to, since I post these on YouTube and there are copyright laws that stop me from posting anything on YouTube with music. So any sort of seated position or laying down, whatever feels comfortable for you. You can definitely sit in a chair or on your couch. Palms up if you're doing this with me live. If you do this with me in the evening when the sun is down, please put your palms down. And we'll spend a couple of minutes just breathing and just kind of centering ourselves. So in yoga, we breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. My name is Suzanne and you are in yoga. We are going to go just about an hour. I work down here in the Villages in Brownwood at MVP Athletic Club. At some point in the near future, I hope to be getting back to regular live classes with real people in front of me. But for now, this is the best we have, and I really, really appreciate you all joining me when you can. So today, let's try to just focus on being appreciative of the fact that we can all be here today, safe in our houses, grateful for what we do have, and trying not to focus on the negative aspects of our lives this morning. So let's just try to inhale all that goodness and try to let go of any negativity you might be feeling this morning. Filling up your whole body with your breath. And letting go of all of that breath through your exhale. Try to think about putting space between every vertebrae, pushing your hips down, extending up through your spine, relaxing your shoulders. If you're laying down, you just want to push your spine and your back, your glutes, your hips down into the mat, your shoulders, feeling yourself long on that mat. Let's turn your palms down on your thighs and just tip your head to one side. Bring your head up through center and over to the opposite side. And then just side to side on your own breath. So maybe inhale all the way over. Maybe exhale to the other side. Maybe inhale to center and exhale as you drop your head. Whatever works for you. But nice and slow movements with your head, just warming up your neck and your spine. When your head gets over to your right side, I'd like you to just hold it there. And just let breath and gravity open up that space on the left side of your neck. You can take your right hand and place it on your head. Just deep breaths. Again, every time your mind starts to wander away, just bring it back to your breathing. Slowly let go of that, bringing your head up through center and letting your head just fall to the other side. Again, sitting up tall, relaxing your shoulders down, especially that right one. And if you want, the left hand goes on your head. Big deep breaths. Put that hand down on your thigh. Drop your chin down to your chest and roll your head around to the other side. And then back around to the other side. So you're going to make a little U shape with your head. Chin to your chest and then ear to your shoulder. Just noticing how your neck feels on each side and all the way through the back of your neck. When your chin gets down to your chest, let's just leave it right there. Let's interlace your fingers behind you, pushing your knuckles down towards the mat. Opening up your chest, breathing, sitting up tall. Then let's bring your palms together in the front, pulling your shoulder blades together, looking down at your lap, and then inhaling and opening up. Exhale, bring those palms back together in seated cat, and then inhale and open in seated cow. And then just repeat on your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. So just flexing and extending your spine. Really think about pushing down into the floor with your hips. If you are laying down, you can just bend your knees, push your hips up and down a little bit, just to get a little bit of movement through your spine. All right. When your palms come together, in the front. Let's leave them right there. Interlace your fingers however you'd like, and then inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Relax your shoulders down, and then take your left hand and bring it down to the ground, leaning over to the left. Inhale back to center, and then lean over to the right. And then just side to side on your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Eyes stay shut, that's fine. Or slightly open if you don't know what you're doing. It seems to me like it's a lot easier to concentrate on your breath with your eyes shut. So with your eyes open, you tend to look around. Maybe you're in your office or your living room or your porch. You're looking around outside, noticing things that go on around you. You really want to just try to focus on your breath and those things that are going on inside you. So let's finish over on your right side, whenever that is. Both hands down on the ground, big shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. So I rarely do shoulder rolls forward, only because we're already slumped forward enough in our daily lives. So there's no reason to actually accentuate that movement anymore. Let's inhale your arms all the way up again. When you exhale, let's twist to one side. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the other side. And then just repeating that on your own breath. You can look up at those hands when they come to center, trying to get your palms together, just working on your shoulder flexibility. We are going to do some shoulder work today. Try to lift your rib cage off your waist when you get to center. So right here, lift. And try to keep that length at your torso. So we twisted over to the left to start. So let's finish over on your right. And let's just stay on the right side. So square up your shoulders the best you can to your right. Push down into the mat with your hips. And just turn your chin and your eyes to the back of your mat. The best you can. Don't ever judge yourself on what you can't do. Just be happy with whatever it is you are doing. Let's slowly come around to center and go to the other side. Just maybe notice how it feels one side and the other. If you want to stay on one side a little bit longer, that is always an option. Turn that chin, turn your eyes. One more breath. Come on back to center. And then if you're sitting on something, let's just move that to the side. We're still going to stay seated, but your knees are going to bend. Your feet are going to be flat on the floor. If you're laying down, your knees are just bent, feet flat on the floor, just like this. And you're just going to drop your knees side to side. So just notice how that feels. Try to open up your chest, pull your shoulder blades together. You can look up a little bit, or you can just look forward, whatever feels good. And then let's drop your knees over to the left all the way. And then just start rotating your upper body all the way to the right as well. So your right hand is going to come and try to meet your left hand that was behind you. So a little bigger twist. If that doesn't work, just put that right hand at the side and don't twist all the way. One more breath. And let's go to the other side. So just swing that arm around. Drop those knees to the right. Left hand comes to meet the right. and notice any difference. So when I go over to this side, it's a little harder, a little less flexible when I twist this way. You just do your best. Don't force anything. Just let breath and gravity do the work today. Breathe. We're going to come back to center. You're going to drop those knees over to the left again. This time your right arm is going to reach up to the left corner, up towards this, maybe towards where your ceiling and the wall meet, so that you're getting a nice long lateral stretch. Almost like you're just trying to reach that point where the ceiling and the wall come together, pushing down into your legs, up through those fingers. Relax that and come on back to center. Let's go to the other side and do the same thing. So lengthen, reach, pushing down through your lower body, up through that left hand, and breathe. Feel that nice length, left side of your body, shoulder area. One more big breath. Inhale. Let's use an exhale breath to come back to center. You're going to lay down on your mat. So however you get there, just lay on down. Arms are going to go up above you, bending your elbows. And you're just going to drop your knees side to side. So relax your arms over your head and notice how it feels. I'd like your arms to be comfortable. So if that means you need to put them out more to the side, that's okay. And then just notice how it feels dropping those knees to each side. Let's come back to center with your knees. Let's bring your feet a little bit closer to your upper body, your hands at your side. We're going to bring your arms up overhead on an inhale. And exhale as you bring your hands back at your side. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale and then exhale. And please remember that all the movements today are all on your own breath. So from here, you're going to keep moving your arms. So you're going to extend both arms overhead. But when you do that the next time, one leg is going to extend out straight along your mat or the floor. You're going to bring all that back to center and then extend the other leg and both arms. So we're just starting to warm up your legs a little bit more. You can hover the legs and not let them touch the floor, or you can let them touch the floor, you decide. You can flex your feet as you reach out on that inhale, exhaling as you come back to center, and then maybe the next time through, point your toes, so you're warming up your whole entire leg, calf, shins, hips, quads, hamstrings. Big, nice length on those inhales. All right, one more time on each side. And then let's bring those knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Notice how that feels. So the knees come in. It's a natural tendency to pick your hips up, your tailbone off the mat. But I'd really like you to keep your tailbone down. So maybe your knees don't come in as far. You lower the tailbone down, relax the shoulders. Take your feet around your ankle joints in one direction. Let's go opposite direction. And then let's point both feet and flex them. Let's point and flex, point and flex. And then just relax your feet. Move your knees right over your hips. If this becomes too much for you, all you have to do is drop your feet down to the mat. I'd like you to try to raise your upper body so your shoulder blades come off the mat. Bring your hands out to the side, palms facing each other. Point the toes so that you're just looking at your thighs, that space in between your inner thighs. And you're just balancing on the back side of your torso. So on your lower back, keeping length in your spine, and feel your core working. If you want, you can start to move a leg out and back in. This is just an option for anybody who wants just a little bit more work. You inhale on the length, exhale as you bring it back in. So once I start doing this, once I keep holding this, I can feel these neck muscles starting to really engage, which is not what we want. So I'm going to just put my hands behind my head to take that pressure off my neck. You do what you need to do. Maybe you just put your head back down on the floor and maybe your hands down on the floor. Do what you need to do. We're going to extend out 2 more times on each side. If you need to take a break, you just bring those knees back in and give yourself a hug. So 1 more time on each side. And then everybody pull those knees in, give yourself a hug. And let's just circle those hips or circle those legs around your hips. Kind of giving your low back a little massage. But you're making a circle with your bent legs around your hip joints. Then let's go the opposite direction. And then let's drop those knees over to your right. So your arms are going to go out to the side. You're going to put your right hand on your left thigh maybe for a little deeper twist, or just keep both hands out to the side. You can also deepen this by looking to your left. And you can also deepen by extending the left leg. You decide what you need right now. But everybody should be taking deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath. Let's come back to center. And let's just drop those knees over to the left. So same thing over here. Notice any difference. Get the knees stacked on top of each other, the hips on top of each other. Left hand maybe on your right thigh. Right arm out to the side. Looking up or to the right. Big, deep breaths. One more breath. Come on back to center. Give yourself that hug again. Let's roll those legs around your hip joints 2 times on each side. Other direction. And then you're going to cross at your ankles and just rock a couple of times till you can come up on those sit bones. So see if you can just rock up, uncross your legs, and see if you can find boat pose. So, because some of you are on here that I don't know, if you happen to be pregnant, boat pose is not acceptable for you to do, so do not do this. Just take a break if you need to. You're going to reach your arms towards your toes or keep hold of your hamstrings. Your shoulders should stay relaxed and your spine long, so no slumping. This is not right. So hold on if you need to, or just have your hands back there as a little backup. You can straighten your legs. You'll feel your quadricep muscles engage for sure, but definitely a nice core exercise. If you want to add some movement here, you can bring your arms out, whoa, and back in. So you'd inhale and exhale. You're going to do that 4 more times. I'm going to hang out right here. 3 more times if you're moving. 2 and 1. Let's put the bottoms of your feet together, grab right above your ankles, and come up to a seated position. So I want you to be seated on your sit bones. So nice and tall, and push your thighs down as you just lean forward a little bit. Not folding, or you are folding at your hip, but you're not slouching at your waist. So you don't have to come forward a lot. I don't want you looking down at your lap. Look at your toes, or even in front of them. Take a breath. And then come up tall with your upper body. Swing your legs around. And let's find child's pose. So I'm just going to adjust my mat a little bit. But in child's pose, your knees are going to go a little bit wide. Your hips go back into your heels. And your arms go stretched out in front of you. So if you're sitting on a chair, you're just going to stand up, put your hands on the chair, tip forward at your hip, and just stretch out the back of your body. Take a couple breaths. And then from here, you're going to bring your knees back in line with your hips, your hands in line with your shoulders. You're going to tuck your toes, and you're going to push yourself up into downward facing dog. So once you get here, if you feel like you really have to reach to get your heels down, then step your feet in just a little bit. You should use most of your mat in downward dog. And it should be a nice stretch of your backside of your legs to try to get your heels down towards the mat. I wouldn't expect the majority of us to be able to get your heels down, especially at this point. Take one more breath. And then I want you to just shift forward into plank. So you're just going to shift your body forward, dropping your hips down, and hang out in plank for a couple of breaths. If you need to, you lower your knees down. Perfectly fine. But see if you can hold plank for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hips go nice and high, and down dog. Breathe. If you need a break, you always have child's pose. Let's do that one more time. So take an inhale, come into plank, Shoulders over your wrists. Push back through your heels, belly button in. Knees down if you need it, looking straight down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips nice and high. Down dog. So from down dog, I want you to bend your knees, take your right foot and step it wide of your right hand. So probably off your mat, put your left knee down and push your left hip forward. And breathe. So maybe your hand is on your thigh, maybe that works better for you. Just take a couple of breaths. Trying to keep your hips lower than your shoulders. Feeling that nice stretch of your hip flexor on the left side. Little inner thigh stretch because your foot is wider than your mat. Let's push yourself back and up into downward facing dog. Again, it can be child's pose instead. And then from here, bend the knees again. Your left leg is going to go wide, left foot up towards your left hand. Drop your right knee down. Bend the left knee over your ankle. Left hand can be on that thigh if you need the support. Pushing your right hip forward. Feel that nice stretch. And breathe. You have 2 more breaths. Push yourself back into down dog. And then right from down dog, you're going to take your right leg and bring it wide again. This time we're going to add a rotation. So left knee can come down or it can stay off the mat. Your right arm is going to reach up to the ceiling. So again, if this becomes too much for you, your right hand is just on your right thigh and you just turn yourself as much as you can, keeping that knee in line with the toes. So don't let your knee fall open. Keep all 4 points of that right foot firmly on the ground. Looking up as you're pressing down into that left hand, reach up. So feel that opposing force to open up the chest. Take 1 breath. Bring that hand down. Hike that front foot back into down dog. Left foot is going to come forward, wide of your left hand, right knee down or not. Twist to your left, left arm up. All those same things. Left knee over your knee, right hand pushing down, fingers, knuckles, palm, whole hand down, whole left hand up. Shoulder blades, try to get them together, twisting at the waist. Right hip forward. Breathe. If it becomes too much for your neck, just look down. Two more breaths. The hand that's in the air comes down. Your front foot goes back, down dog. And then from down dog, I just want you to walk your feet forward or your hands back. And slowly walk up your legs. Slow, 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 slow. Big inhale up. Hands down at your side. Then we have the fix your clothes and fix your hair pose. So do what you need to do, and then I want you to find a wall. So we're going to stretch your shoulders before we do some other stuff on the mat. So what I'd like you to do is find a wall and find your left arm and get it right next to the wall. So your right arm is facing away and your left arm, left shoulder is right at the wall. You're going to take your arm, left arm straight up, turn your palm to the wall, and then see if you can just move it back behind you, maybe walking those fingers down, trying to keep your shoulder as close to the wall as you can. So maybe you can come to this 90-degree angle with your arm and your body as you keep your shoulder on the left. And just feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Maybe even kind of dropping your right arm to your side, maybe even putting your right arm behind you. Nice and tall with your spine and breathing. All right, slowly take those fingers without moving too far away from the wall. See about just walking back up the wall with your fingers till that hand and arm are straight up over you, and then straight back down in front, and turn yourself around. Sounded like the hokey pokey. All right, so now your right arm is close to the wall, as close as you can get. Your right arm goes up, turn your palm to the wall, and then start just inching your fingers down the wall as you keep your hip and your shoulder, your side, as close to the wall, noticing if this side feels different than the other side. For most of us, it's gonna maybe feel a little bit different. So I can already feel like my upper body starts turning towards the wall. And I can tell by looking at myself that my arm is not as far down and I'm not as tall. So really do your best to not, number one, do not cause yourself pain. You can be uncomfortable, but no pain. Do your best and feel that nice stretch. Nice and tall, like somebody's pulling you up through the crown of your head. And breathing. You can shut your eyes. You have about 3 deep breaths. You can take that left arm back behind you. All right, with those right fingers, just spider walk them up towards the ceiling till they're right over your head. And then bring your hand all the way down in front of you. All right, let's come back to your mat if you had walked away so that you're facing me. And let's do a couple of big shoulder rolls. And then let's find mountain pose. So your hands either at your side or at your heart. And just breathe and notice how you feel. For me, I actually feel my chest feels more open, my shoulders feel more open. Just let everything we've done so far flow through your body. One more breath. Then just take a big inhale with your arms up. Exhale as you fold forward at your hip. Maybe just halfway is fine today, maybe all the way. Inhale back up. And exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. A couple more times. Just getting some blood again moving through those legs from those standing shoulder poses. Bend your knees slightly if you need to. Think about pushing down into the ground as you rise up. All right, if you are not at the top of your mat, make sure that you get yourself there on the next one or two of those movements. All right, and then when you get to your forward fold, I'd like you to just hang out there for a breath or two. I'm going to let everybody catch up. And then I want you to take your right foot and step it back, ground your heel, bend your front knee, and bring your arms up into Warrior One. Take a breath, and then open yourself up into Warrior Two. So you turn yourself to the right, your upper body, your legs stay the same. Legs stay the same. I want you to come into Sun Warrior or Exalted Warrior. Left arm up, right arm down. And then we go into triangle. Straighten your leg. Left arm comes down to your leg. Right arm comes up. Do not fall over. Looking up. Taking a breath, leaving your legs straight. Exalted Warrior with legs straight. Up you go with your arms. Bend your knee into Warrior Two. Turn your hips to the front. Bring your arms up, Warrior One. Let's bring your hands down, down dog. Left foot goes back. You can stay in down dog for 5 breaths, or you can come with me into a little flow. We're going to inhale into plank. You're going to exhale as you lower down. You're going to inhale into a back bend. You're going to exhale into down dog. You're going to hang here for 2 or 3 breaths. You're going to bend both knees and either jump or step forward into your forward fold. And when you inhale, come all the way up. Hands at your side. Step your left foot back. Ground your heel. Warrior One. Bend the front knee. Turn your hips to the front. Arms up. Take a breath or two. Leave your legs maybe a little wider with them. Turn your upper body to the left. Arms out. Look over that middle right finger. Take a breath. Leave your legs. Push down into both feet. Raise your right arm. Reach down with your left. Open up your side body on that right side. Take a breath. Straighten that front leg. Right hand, place it on your right leg. Left arm up. Triangle. Then Exalted Warrior or Sun Warrior with your legs straight. Upper body up. Inhaling. Warrior Two, bending that front knee. Arms out, palms down. Turn your shoulders and your hips to the front. Arms come up, Warrior One. Hands come down to the floor, down dog. Stay in down dog or child's pose, or shift, inhaling into plank. Exhaling as you lower down. Inhale into an up dog or cobra with me. Tuck your toes, exhale, down dog. Hang out and breathe. See if you can get those heels down to the ground. One more breath. Bend the knees, look up at the hands, walk your feet forward. And when you're ready for an inhale breath, bring yourself all the way up. Hands at your side. All right, we're gonna move to the wall again, but this time you're gonna take your mat so that we can do some stretches of your lower body utilizing that wall. So I want you to put your mat longwise so that the small end of your mat is against the wall the best you can. I'm going to move the camera over. I'll set you up this way. See if that works. I think that'll work. Yep. I think that's good. All right. So you're going to lay down, but you're going to first try to put your hips as close to that wall as possible. So get a hip onto the wall and then turn and put your legs so that they are up on the wall. So in class at MVP, I talk about legs up the wall pose a lot, and this is what I mean. This is a fabulous thing to do, especially if you're doing different workouts now. Maybe you're out walking more. Maybe you're out riding your bike outside. Things are just a little different. This is a good way to get all those fluids moving out of your ankles, your feet, down through your legs, into your internal organs, letting your internal organs process all those fluids and junk that builds up in your legs, and let them go out of your body through those natural processes. So what we're going to do here is you're going to bend your right knee. You're going to take your left leg and cross it over your right. So bending that right leg, if that was too much, you can just leave it straight or slightly bent. And you're going to feel this really nice stretch of your outer thigh and your glutes. You should have a big space between your inner thighs. And you're just relaxing your upper body. Your arms really don't have to do anything here. You just bring that foot down your leg, and then you can just let your upper body relax. If you want to apply a little bit more pressure, you can. Or you just lower that right foot down a little. So all you have to do is breathe. And of course, the same thing is going to go for these couple of poses. If you want to stay here longer and you don't want to move on, that's perfectly fine. Because we're going to switch to the other side. Left foot up. Cross that right leg over so it's on your thigh. And then just start bending your left knee. Just to feel a slightly uncomfortable stretch of your right outer thigh. And breathe. Again, maybe move your arms up over your head. Take some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, one more breath. And you're going to slowly unwind that. You're going to put the bottoms of your feet together. Your knees are going to bend. And you're going to be in reclined cobbler's pose. And you're just going to take your hands and press those thighs away as you try to get the bottoms of your feet together. So I'm a little off center here because I have my feet halfway, there we go, on the wall and on the closet. But just see about how far you can get your heels down, pressing those legs away. Big deep breaths. And then leave your legs where they are, but just straighten your legs. So a big wide leg straddle. And again, those hands can be at your inner thighs, just giving yourself just a little bit more pressure to open up those legs more, but you really have gravity here helping you. So your hands and upper body can be again up over your head. Keep that focus on your breath, the inhales and the exhales. And then slowly bring those legs back up to legs up the wall. Then I want you to pull your left leg a little bit closer to you to get a nice hamstring stretch. You can flex your foot, grabbing onto your toes, or just hold at your calf or your hamstring, whatever feels good for you. And again, just deep breaths. Push down into the floor with your left hip, up to the ceiling with your left heel. Let's switch to the other side. So some of you are already getting a good enough hamstring stretch by just having your legs up the wall. This is just giving you a little extra. So if it's too much, just keep your legs right at the wall, perfectly fine. All you have to do is feel something on the back side of your right leg now, flexing that foot, calf, hamstring, big deep breaths. One more breath. All right, I want you to bend your knees, giving yourself a little hug. Drop your knees over to the left. Give yourself a little twist at the waist. So this actually might be a bigger twist because that wall might be in your way a little bit. And please remember, I am not a medical professional, but this is how I see this. Your legs are up on the wall. All the fluid comes down your legs. All the junk that builds up in our legs over time comes down your legs, comes into those internal organs. Then we do this twist. Let's go to the other side. And it twists out and engages all of your internal organs and says, hey, let's work now. And it pushes all that junk out. through all those functions of those internal organs. So I have no idea if that's really how it works, but that's how I see it in my mind. So I'm going to go with that. All right, so now you have your final relaxation. You have so many options here. You can come back to just a laying down position on your mat. You can stay here in legs up the wall, which I would recommend. Or you can scoot yourself away. I will definitely wake you up in just about 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. So find something that's comfortable for you. Find an eye pillow or a towel. Place that over your eyes. Walk your shoulders down away from your ears. Have your palms up next to your body somewhere. And just breathe. If your mind starts to wander away, don't judge yourself. It's a normal action. It's your reaction that counts. Just calmly notice that it's happening. Bring it back to your breath. And focus again on your inhale and your exhale. All right, let's start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If your legs are up the wall, start kind of moving yourself away from the wall. Get into a position where you can just give yourself a big full body stretch. Arms up overhead, toes and feet away from you. Bend both knees and just rock them side to side, or find a side that feels good for you for a couple of breaths. And then slowly push yourself up to a seated position. All right, so your hands are at your side, palms up. Let's just breathe together. So on an inhale, raise your arms up. Turn your palms away with a big ah. 2 more times. Inhale. Ah. And 1 more time. Inhale. Ah. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Happy Saturday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Drop me a little note. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me how class was. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Have a great weekend. Hope you guys all stay healthy and safe. Namaste. Thank you. Bye-bye.